What's going on today, YouTube? And welcome back. We back with another reaction. We got your boy Yapster, and this is the most disturbing crimes in the Minecraft community. Last time we did FNAF community. This time it's Minecraft community. It's a 39-minute video, y'all. Go ahead and grab your seats, get your popcorn ready. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, if you stick it out to the end of the video, subscribe. Like the video, all the stuff. Do all the things. Do all the things. Be a member of this community. Be a member of this community. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot.
In the Minecraft community, and as the video goes on, they only get darker.
A Montgomery County school is now closed, and its students have been sent home for the day after a threat was made.
It was going to be a normal Monday for thousands of children in England on March 19, 2018, until multiple schools throughout the country received one particular email that caused them to evacuate the school campuses and send all of the children back to their homes. The email that the schools received went like this.
This is a message to everyone. We've sent in a student with a bomb. The bomb is set to go off in 3 hours time. If you do not send 5,000...
By the way, if y'all hear that in my background, it's my heater, y'all. I got a little heater on my desk. It's cold. All right. It's in the teens right now, and I need some warmth. I need some warmth. So that's just where I'm at right now. So if y'all hear that, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I apologize, but it's cold.
$1,000 USD to payments at veldpvp.com. If you do not send the money, we will blow up the device. Our site has all the information needed. veldpvp.com. If you try to call the cops, we will blow up the device on the spot. Any attempt at defusing it yourself will cause it to explode.
The other part of this message, which was written in Arabic, made it seem like an impending large-scale terrorist attack. And considering the fact that over 400 schools were sent this email, it was easy to guess the amount of panic that would be caused. In many schools, immediate plans of evacuation were implemented, and the police and other authorities started looking into the evidence. The first thing...
Wait a minute, we getting right into the meat and potatoes. Ain't even though he didn't take us out to dinner first. He just straight throwing it in our throat. Anyway, that's crazy. Like what? Y'all said it. Do they not know that you can? Oh, this is in England.
What jumped on was the website mentioned in the email, Veld PvP, which was actually a Minecraft domain that hosted servers where players could battle each other. And when their name appeared in the email, everyone was confused as to what such a site could gain from doing something like this. And the answer was nothing. So it was pretty clear that Veld PvP wasn't the actual culprit behind these emails. And the very next day, the company itself put out a tweet denouncing the incident, saying,
"We have nothing to do with the bomb threats that were sent out to the 400 plus UK schools. We've been being harassed by a group of cyber criminals that are trying to harass us in any way possible. We're extremely sorry for anyone who had to deal with this. But just know it's fake."
And when Carlson Cal, the founder of the server, was asked who might be behind this kind of rude prank, he said,
"Every now and then we have a little rebel who will try to do something bad like this. We've had stuff like this happen before, but nothing this extreme."
Another piece of information the investigators stumbled across was
That's wild, bro. Is that deep? Like, is that deep for real?
a tweet by an account named Apophis Squad.
"We hope everyone in the UK enjoyed our email. Thanks to all who participated."
But now that it was proven that Veld PvP had nothing to do with this, the authorities were faced with the challenge of finding out the real identity of the individuals behind this.
They was on there bragging. They was on there bragging. Feds can't touch us. NCA can't touch us. KE, we big boys running around the internet with our 1337 bootnet. Come catch us. We're untouchable. Living on TOR nodes and OpenDNS, smoking that good stuff with our boys at Radware. That's
Apophis Squad. And so the UK National Crime Agency paired up with the Federal Bureau of Investigation to actually look into these crimes. And after analyzing other tweets from that account, officials found out that whoever was behind the account took immense pleasure in performing DDoS, or distributed denial of service attacks. These were cyber attacks in which a hacker floods a website with an immense number of commands so that it fails to perform what it should. And Apophis Squad was performing such things regularly. But the most important tip regarding who might be behind this account came from Proton Mail, a mail service that the
That's wild,
perpetrators
bro.
actually used to send those bomb threats. Employees of Proton Mail
they must not know the government got them things
the actual email account, and then sent the name to the UK police in August of 2018. The suspect was
the usual suspects. The usual suspects. It's the usual suspects, of course. But I'm just saying though. I'm not saying that to be, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. Don't take no offense to that. My white people, I love y'all. Y'all are my primary audience. I'm just saying that, you know what I'm saying? This is skin to win, as Internet City says. Skin to win. This is what I expected out of this. This is what I expected out of this. But not saying that is to say because he's a white boy. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Not saying that he is of the light-colored nature. That's why he's doing this. I'm saying he looks like a Minecraft kid. Y'all know, we all know Minecraft kids. We all know Minecraft kids. And you cannot tell me he don't look like one of them. Exactly.
Cohen, a 19-year-old computer student. But even after getting this crucial information, the National Crime Agency didn't immediately arrest him because they first wanted to verify it on their own. However, in this span of time, George would commit another cybercrime, this time by calling San Francisco Airport and claiming that there was a bomb planted on one of those flights. This caused the security staff to conduct a thorough search of the flight, thereby leading to considerable delays for the passenger. And of course, this too was a fake threat. This would be the last crime.
Lock him up. He 19. He know exactly what he doing. Lock him up.
Committed by George. As on August 31st, he would get arrested by the NCA at his home in Redford. But only after his arrest did the police realize that George was already under investigation for orchestrating similar DDoS attacks against business websites. And on top of this, he wasn't the only one behind the Apophis persona. He had a friend in the US who was also helping him. His name was Timothy Dalton Vaughn, a 20 from North Carolina, was arrested later in 2019. The charges to dual face range from schools and institutions with fake bomb threats. And naturally, no jury would be willing to let them go unpunished. And so on February 8, 2019, a grand jury charged them with 11 crimes, which meant that each faced a prospect of spending more than 50 years in prison if the charges were confirmed. But in 2020, this prospect actually got changed. Timothy accepted a plea deal and as a result was sent to federal prison for only 8 years, while George was sentenced to 3 years in the UK. In George's case, you can be sure that he did something wrong, but the fault isn't very clear in the next very strange case.
Man, what? Bro, come on, dog. Bro, come on, man. We just not holding people accountable to their crimes at this point. Like, and it's not even just this situation. Do y'all watch like To Catch a Predator or Skeeter Jean or Gideon? I'm sorry, bro. Gideon. My fiance watches them, and I watch them with her sometimes. And like the sentencing people be getting, and it don't be making sense because like you potentially could have messed up somebody's entire life. You could have set a young lady on the path of destruction and heartbreak for the rest of her life, and y'all getting like 3 years in prison, little slap on the wrist. That is not long enough. Like, y'all could have met up with this young person and took their life if you so desire. Like, I'm pretty sure they found one person with like rope in their car and stuff. Like, these light sentences they didn't do the crime, so since they didn't do the crime, they can't be convicted of the crime. But it's still like the potential of it being able to happen. It's the fact that these adults are putting themselves in situations to do stuff like what if these kids was actually planning on carrying out an attack? You know what I'm saying? We don't know. We just know what they did. But the stuff that they did could have been over 50 years in prison. Why wasn't it over 50 years in prison? Why did they just get a slap on the wrist? Why didn't they get like prosecuted to the full extent of the law? I'm not getting that because they literally inconvenienced so many people, had so many people on edge. People threats are very serious. And nowadays, and since more and more people are carrying out threats or not even threatening before they doing these attacks, it's important to take this stuff seriously, because if we're not taking it seriously, like what is actually going on? Like, what happens when it happens and nobody was prepared for it? That's because we're not taking it seriously. And they could get out of prison and do exactly what they did, man. Internet is accessible to everybody. You can't tell them, oh, you can't be on the internet if you're caught on the internet again. They'll find a way to get back on the internet. Суд
огласил приговор 5 лет колонии и штраф 30 тысяч рублей за прохождение обучения в целях осуществления террористической деятельности.
Minecraft is a game filled with boundless possibilities, where you can build or destroy anything. But in 2020, a few teenagers in Russia found out that sometimes even this can lead to serious consequences. It all started when the Federal Security Service of Russia, FSB, arrested 3 15-year-old boys for distributing pamphlets against the government in Kansk. These pamphlets were a part of an ongoing protest against the arrest of a political activist, Azad Miftakov. The names of the 3 arrested boys were Bogdan Andreev, Denis Mikhailenko, and Nikita Uvarov. While these 3 were detained, the police seized their smartphones as part of the investigation, and for some reason stumbled upon some Minecraft gameplay videos they made. And on the surface, this seemed like nothing significant, but for the Russian authorities, it was extremely crucial. This was because in one of these videos, the boys built a replica of the FSB building in Minecraft, which they then blew up using TFT. While it can be argued that this was just some kids playing around, the FSB took offense. They immediately linked the boys' actions to terrorism, arrested them, and put them in jail. And all of them were forced to plead guilty, except for Nikita, who refused to do so despite being forced to. Nikita's stay in jail was extended because of this, and the case would become even more complicated after it was revealed that the boys were conducting experiments with homemade explosives in their backyard. And with this newly discovered evidence, all 3 boys were found guilty of
the government should have did their due diligence. They should have did that. See, like what if they didn't do that check? Like, what if they didn't thoroughly check it out and just went off of what they did in Minecraft? Yeah, they would have got a little, you know what I'm saying? They would have got a little slap on the wrist. Yeah, a little in trouble. But if they didn't discover that they was actually playing around with explosives, stuff could have got deadly at the exact building that they was doing in Minecraft. Like, bro, that's why you have to take these threats seriously, because they are people really out here sick.
Organizing a terrorist group and sentenced to 10 years in prison. But this charge would actually be dropped in 2021. Yet in the same year, all 3 would stand trial in a military court instead of a civilian one. This time, Dennis and Bogdan would be released with suspended sentences due to their guilty plea and cooperation with the officials, while Nikita, who was 16, would be sentenced to 5 years in prison. But this would actually go on to be reviewed by the Supreme Court of Russia in 2023, which actually decided to continue Nikita's punishment. So he's still in prison. But while this was happening in Russia, something far more controversial was unfolding in Florida.
It means Clark will be held in a juvenile facility, and he'll get education and transition services, which will prepare him for a productive life after he serves his time. And he knows if he violates his probation, he'll face a 10-year sentence in adult prison.
In the early morning of July 31st, 2020, the quiet neighborhood of Northdale, Florida, was illuminated with the red and blue lights of multiple police patrol cars. And since this was a rare sight, people thought it was either a burglary or a domestic issue. However, in reality, the police were there to arrest an individual who hacked into one of the largest social media platforms in the world. Graham Evan Clark was 10 when he started playing Minecraft. His parents divorced each other when he was just 7, and Minecraft allowed him. Clark was 10 when he started playing Minecraft. His parents divorced each other when he was just 7, and Minecraft allowed him to escape from the harsh reality of his family life. But over time, Minecraft slowly stopped being just a game for Graham, as he would transform it into a means to scam other people. Graham was part of a broader collective of cheaters who played in hardcore factions, a competitive Minecraft server where players engage in PvP by forming teams. And by PvP, I of course mean player versus player, a type of in-game fighting between 2 users. On this server, Graham would promise to sell rare and interesting in-game usernames to other people, but once they actually paid him, Graham would simply just block them, and this led to him being banned multiple times, but he just kept returning to the game. Now, as a result of his actions, a lot of people started confronting him openly, but even then, Graham would simply manage to find a way out. Like this one time when he was exposed while trying to find out the IP address of a staff member.
Let me ask you this, why would you want a staff member's IP? Just tell me.
Who said I wanted his IP?
Well, why are you searching on MC Resolver then?
Who said that? What if I want to see a skin?
He went by the username Open and even opened a YouTube channel. At one point, Graham was infamous in the hardcore factions community, and he got in repeated fights with other members. There was even a time a player posted a 6-minute long diss track on Graham, and since he wasn't trusted on Minecraft anymore, Graham simply moved his
Hey, I want to hear the diss track though. Play the song though. Play the track.
attention to cryptocurrency. And so when he was around 16, Graham managed to steal around $856,000 by scamming 160 bitcoins from a Seattle-based investor, Greg Bennett. He did this by a method known as SIM swapping, in which the hacker redirects all the messages and calls from the victim to his own mobile number.
And in this particular day, they were successfully able to liquidate all of my non-Bitcoin assets. And then because I had a 100 Bitcoin limit in this specific account with Bittrex, they were able to transfer 100 Bitcoin out of Bittrex into their controlled account. And that was out 100 Bitcoin.
However, Graham was arrested.
Kids today is by any means, but they really out here in the internet trenches. What are we talking about? 800,000? 800,000? He scammed bro out of 800,000 in Bitcoin. 800. Do you know what I could do with $800,000 right now? What is we saying? What is we talking about? Hey, bro's really out here in the internet trenches. I can't believe that.
Prosecuted for this crime, mostly because he was still a minor, but also due to the fact that the authorities managed to get around 100 bitcoins back to Greg. But
a minor? Man, these kids hustling better than I ever could. I'm telling y'all right now, boy. Hey, all y'all that resort to slanging them things, that resort to, like, you know what I'm saying, hitting the street corners, slanging and banging, you know what I'm saying? These kids done cracked the code. You feel me? They done cracked the code. I'm not saying I condone no scamming. Not saying I condone no scamming, but they done cracked the code. They out here in these trenches for
While
real.
he actually had the money, Graham did what any teenager would. He bought designer stuff, watches, and showed them off on his Instagram. But not everything was going well behind the scenes. To pull off such a cryptocurrency scam, Graham teamed up with other hackers. Yet when it was time to split the money, he went back on his word. He stopped contacting them and kept
I love Roblox, but I don't have money to spend on Robux. Good thing
all the money to himself.
Graham decided to keep all the money and he didn't split it with the other people.
Which led to the hackers threatening to expose him to the authorities if he didn't actually give them the money.
So, I mean, as you know, a lot of people didn't like him because of some of the choices he made. So obviously that's going to come with some backlash. They got his family's personal info. They were just constantly harassing him. Someone sent people to Graham's house to scare him or even rob him at one point.
Well, they're planning his robbery. They wanted to have him like tortured, like a lot of dark things done.
But sadly, nothing came out of this.
Y'all moving like this off the the dark web is a crazy place. I seen some stuff about the dark web that I can't unsee. You know what I'm saying? That's the dark web is a crazy place. And y'all moving like that. Y'all sending people through internet, like y'all finding out what these people is on the internet, and y'all sending people to their house to threaten them. Like y'all sending that shit is scary. That shit is scary. I'd be terrified. I'd be terrified if somebody even just threatened to send people my way because they got my IP address. We all do this internet thing. We all be on the internet all the time. So it's like, it's not hard for them people to find out where you live at. I done seen videos of like people getting like, DDoS and like, they address exposed and stuff like, just because they said something bad on Call of Duty or whatever. But I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, yo, like, wait, like, I understand they said this or they said the N-word, they said the wrong thing, but you just exposed their whole address. Why are you able to do that? Why are you able to do that? Why? Like, why can you do that? Why are you doing that? That's kind of creepy. Because now you know where this person live at. We don't know what's going through these people's head. You know what I'm saying? You call that man an N-word, he having a bad day. He come in your house and, you know, like, I'm just saying, bro.
As the Secret Service actually couldn't arrest him because he was still too young. And so he managed to escape consequences this time. But in the coming months, Graham would do something so shocking that his age wouldn't stop anyone from arresting him. On July 15, 2020, employees at Twitter started panicking because something unprecedented had happened. Accounts of famous people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates got hacked. The hackers posted tweets through their accounts. And the message read,
I'm feeling generous because of COVID-19. I'll double any Bitcoin payments sent to my Bitcoin address for the next hour. Good luck and stay safe out there.
Security agents immediately went on a wild hunt to uncover the person behind these attacks, and it would later turn out that this was the work of none other than Graham, who masterminded the hack.
He is a super villain. Lock him up. He better still be locked up. Maximum security, because he living in Watch Dogs. He can hack them doors if he wanted to.
With the help of a young partner. Now, due to legal reasons, the identity of his partner wasn't revealed, but let's call him John. Graham and John conducted the whole operation through the same method he used on Greg, SIM swapping. This time, however, the victims were Twitter employees. Graham went through a huge amount of data to arrive at the phone numbers of the admins of Twitter, and once he obtained access to the admin site, Graham could sell all the rare usernames he could find. But on July 15th, 2020, word got out among his buyers that these usernames were obtained through hacking, and they thought that if the hack ever got discovered, they would be at a loss, so they actually stopped buying from Graham. At this point, Graham could have done anything he wanted, since he had access to so many accounts, but instead he decided to start a money doubling scam through these celebrity accounts. It was almost like he was asking to be arrested, but before people actually got wind of the scheme, Graham and John had already made about $118,000. For the officials, it was pretty easy to track down Graham, thanks to the multiple loopholes he kept open. For example, the fact that he immediately put bids to sell usernames he just hacked aroused immediate suspicions in keen observers, and so he was arrested and held with a $750,000 bond, and served the prospect of serving 210 years in prison, showing how serious the situation really was. But after the main trial, Graham got a plea deal, which drastically reduced the sentence to only 6 years in juvenile prison. and it's rumored
Definitely pissed me off.
that once he gets out, he still has a good amount of money to be waiting for him. But no such privilege exists for the next guy, whose crime basically involved several nations.
He still got the money? When he get out of prison, he still got the bag? Oh my God, he's a rapper.
We have some breaking news coming in right now. A grand jury has just indicted Jack Teixeira.
Picked a great name, but your voice doesn't quite match it?
We have a fix.
VoiceMod gives you over 100
on federal charges for allegedly leaking Pentagon secrets.
In 2022, the most important topic of discussion in the world was the war between Russia and Ukraine, and the fact that only these countries were involved did mean that the US government had nothing to do with it. In reality, the US sided with Ukraine and was offering support throughout the war, but no one would have thought that the most crucial and devastating aspect of the United States' role in the war would be related to Minecraft. This all started when in March 2023, some top secret documents appeared randomly in a Discord server of the YouTuber WowMao. The documents seemed to consist of drawings of maps and graphs related to the US action in the Russian-Ukraine war. Apart from these, there was other info regarding politics and activities in other countries like South Korea and China, and these documents might have been in circulation online previously, but they gained widespread attention only after being posted on WoW's server. Even more eyes would then fall on those documents a few days later when they were reposted on a Minecraft server named Minecraft Earthmap. From there, the documents spread like wildfire and started appearing on pro-Russian Telegram and 4chan servers. At first, some believed that the documents were probably fake, but it was around this point that it became clear that these were actual classified military documents, since very shortly after, the New York Times released a news article about this, making it a national issue. Both investigative journalists and military officials were trying to trace the actual source of these documents, and that's when they found out that originally they were posted in a separate channel on the server called Thugshaker Central by a user named OG. OG was a regular uploader in the Thugshaker server, and he openly
Internet, actually, I see why they wanted to put net neutrality on stuff. I see why they wanted to do net neutrality, because at this point, really at this point, bro, like I get it takes away a lot of freedoms and stuff, but y'all doing the most with this internet stuff, bro.
He claimed that he was working at a military facility and had no problem sending and explaining classified documents. And over the course of weeks, OG would continue to share these documents with the confidence that no one will repost them on any other server. But of course, the opposite had happened. And now that the secret was out, the FBI was on a hunt for it. Following minute details like the background in those photographs of the documents, journalists were able to trace the images and the OG account to Jack Teixeira, a 22-year-old airman in the Massachusetts Air National Guard. Jack, thanks to his job, had access to multiple top secret documents, which he decided to simply post online. And just as his identity was revealed, the FBI easily found out Jack's billing address from Discord and searched for his mother's home on April 13th, 2023. And finally, a few hours later, the military arrested Jack in a very dramatic manner. He was charged with handling classified documents and spreading them online, and then sentenced to 15 years in prison in 2023 by a federal grand jury. Until now, we only dealt with unknown figures in the Minecraft community.
Oh, so the 15 years stuck. Okay. Okay, cool. You know, that's something. I mean, the government ain't finna play about theirs. They ain't finna play about that. You can play with everybody else's money. You can play with everybody else's money if you want to. Just get a little 6 years and keep the money afterwards. But you ain't finna play with them. You ain't finna play with no documents. They ain't playing like that.
Some very famous Minecraft members will shock you with the severity of their crimes.
Left, sir.
You had a lot of what?
See some girls.
That alcohol, I'm guessing?
Pad.
Come on, y'all. Like, I knew this had to be on here somewhere, y'all. This is coming from a place of like sincerity. This is coming from a place of like I don't like, this is a serious situation. I knew this was gonna be on this list somewhere. And it really hurts my heart to keep seeing it because bro is doing so much better. Bro is doing so much better. And it needs to be known that yeah, he went through a lot. Pat has went through a lot. The downfall of popular MMOs is crazy. It is crazy because like a lot of us, like me included, I used to legally download YouTube videos when I was in school and stuff because I didn't have Wi-Fi at home. So I would download these long form videos and stuff just to have something to watch at home, you know? And just because we had school iPads. And popular MMOs was always on that rotation along with Vanoss and, you know, stuff like that, things of that nature. And so it's like, it hurts my heart to see what happened to Pat. You know what I'm saying? And we don't know, like, yeah, it's his own fault. You know, he has taken responsibility for getting into alcohol and going, you know, doing what he was doing. But popular MMOs is something that's near and dear to my heart, and it's so nostalgic for me. Like even now, my fiance still watches like their old videos, and it's like it's a nostalgia kick. And so I hate seeing these clips of Pat in his drunken state at his worst, at his lowest, because knowing he lost, like he fumbled the bag with Jen. Jen was probably the best thing he had in his life. He fumbled the bag with Jen, even though that was a graceful exit. He fumbled the bag with the next wife, the next girl. Like he fumbled his whole life, but he is doing better. According to him on his YouTube channel, he's uploading again. He's doing better. He's letting everybody know how he's doing. And, you know, I hope he continues to do better and you know, grow from this situation. But I really hate seeing
Julian Nell began making YouTube videos in 2012. The videos he posted at the time were mainly gameplays of then famous role-playing games like RuneScape and Dragoness. Broadly, these games were categorized as massively multiplayer online role-playing games, or MMORPGs for short. So Pat named his channel Popular MMOs, since he was mainly focused on those types of games. But while his channel name remained constant, his content changed drastically. In those days, it was fashionable for practically every gaming YouTuber to at least once dabble in Minecraft, and it wouldn't take long before Pat himself hopped on the trend and started uploading Minecraft gameplay videos. Over time, the number of Minecraft videos he was uploading steadily increased, while he totally stopped playing the other game. This might have been because playing Minecraft seemed more commercially successful to him, but even after making this switch, his channel barely got any views, and by 2014, he was just getting by. But that fact changed when Pat introduced a new member to the channel, Jennifer Flack. Jen and Pat met while they were working at an animal shelter in high school, and eventually the two hit it off, and were seriously dating by the time Pat started making his Minecraft videos. As Pat started getting more views thanks to his new mod review series, where he would review Minecraft mod packages, Jen also started appearing in his videos beside him. And soon, Jen actually married Pat, and their on-screen collaboration was an instant hit.
Bridget Jones, where are you?
Bridget.
Bridget.
Bridget. Afternoon, Bridget. Hi.
As people loved watching them play Minecraft as a couple. But despite that fact,
and honestly, like Pat and Jen's relationship through them playing games is what inspired me to start playing games with my fiance. It's not start playing games, but it's definitely the inspiration behind me playing games with my fiance. And I actually have a video on my gaming channel of us playing Roblox, and it was fun. It was a fun experience to do. It was fun to do. Like, it's fun to share the things that you love with the people that you love. You know what I'm saying? And I know there's a lot of y'all out there that probably play with your significant other, or you know what I'm saying, like your best friend, if you have opposite sex best friend or whatever. And it's a fun experience. And I absolutely love playing games with my fiance, even though she don't play games with me no more for real like that. But that's because she's always working, she's always busy, she stay busy.
It took them quite a while to actually get 1 million subscribers. The rise to 10 million would actually be much quicker, since they achieved that by the end of 2016, and they also racked over 250 million views per month. And Jen was one of the most important reasons for this. This placed Pat at the head of the Minecraft community, and at the peak of his career. But despite that, Pat still had troubles in his relationship. On May 26, 2019, 4 years into their marriage, Pat posted a video that dealt a very heavy blow to many fans. In that video, he and Jen go over the reasons they made their decision to break up, revealing that Jen wanted kids, whereas Pat didn't. And while their decision seemed mature, a lot of the fans were heartbroken and expressed this in the comment section of that video.
Me included. But I about cried. I about cried when I see that video pop up. It was like we were breaking up, and I was like, and this is me in my adult life. I'm pretty sure. Wait, when did he say?
Video that dealt a very heavy blow to many fans. In that video, he and Jen go over the reasons they made their decision to break up, revealing that Jen wanted kids, whereas Pat didn't.
Let's see. I don't know if he said when, but
and while the decision seemed mature, a lot of the fans were heartbroken and expressed this in the comment section of that video.
I feel like my YouTube parents just got a divorce.
Even though they broke up, Pat and Jen continued making videos together, as if trying to make everything seem normal. But this obviously didn't last long, as Pat would soon introduce another woman into his life. This was Eleni, with whom he first uploaded a video with on the 19th of December 2019. Many people thought this was Pat's attempt to replace Jen, so he had to clarify in the comments that Jen will continue playing with him, and that Eleni was just a friend.
Playing with another friend today. Don't worry, nobody's replacing Jen. Jen just isn't always available to record. And I would rather make more videos than this. Please be nice to her.
But people still kept reacting negatively to Eleni, sometimes even labeling her as a gold digger. And the situation got so noisy that Pat had to express his displeasure at what was happening, and even got Jen to talk about Eleni herself. But over the course of the next year, Eleni and Pat would eventually begin dating. And in May of 2020, he would upload a video featuring both Eleni and Jen titled Minecraft Bed Wars with Eleni and Ex-Wife Jen vs Me, which triggered a wave of hate towards Eleni, as fans began blaming her for trying to distance Pat from Jen. The comment section clearly showed the awkwardness that was present throughout the video. The following day, Pat posted a video with Eleni talking about how she was getting undeserved hate, but the hate didn't actually subside, and Eleni and Pat continued to ignore this. Unfortunately, their relationship wasn't able to withstand the stress, and eventually the two
look at Cloud. This cat is the exact reason why we have a white cat right now. Her name is Cloud. It's because Pat and Jen had a cat named Cloud.
To separate in a friendly manner. Yet for some reason, Eleni was angry with Pat. She took to Instagram and started commenting badly about Pat, even claiming that they were never in a relationship to begin with. Now, Pat ignored her as much as he could, but eventually he also posted a video in which he showed a lot of evidence that the two were indeed in a relationship. And when Pat confronted her with those photos and texts, she simply continued saying that they never dated. All in all, everyone seemed to favor Pat because he could show evidence for his innocence, and he of course had a lot of goodwill in the community. Even though everyone would have expected Pat to slow down and recover before going into another relationship, Pat got a new girlfriend sooner than expected, and her name was Elizabeth. He made their relationship public on May 7th, 2021, and it didn't take long for his subscribers to actually start liking this.
Pat literally is a father figure to us, and you all can't deny it. I'm so proud of him. He looks so happy, and I have a good feeling about Liz.
However, things would take a turn for the worst when a few days later, news broke out that Pat and Liz had been arrested for trying to injure each other when they were drunk. But because there was no proper witnesses and evidence, both of them were simply placed in jail with a bond of $2,500. But back on Twitter, people were shocked by this recent development, and multiple accusations against Pat started flying around. One such accusation was that Pat frequently hit women, and while this was a bold accusation, it didn't really gain a lot of attention until a certain person liked the tweet. This person was none other than Jen, and not surprisingly, this caused an uproar so massive that Jen had to clarify that she had actually liked the tweet by accident.
I do not use Twitter regularly. When I was messaged all about this drama, I went on to see what was being said. By accident, I liked a tweet that is now being seen in a poor manner. Pat never, in the 10 years we were together, laid a hand on me.
And while all of this was going on, Eleni would make a special entry into the drama by leaking Pat's address in a now deleted tweet, and in return, Pat didn't shy away from returning the favor. Eleni then took this even further by using his mugshot as a display picture on her YouTube channel. Although Pat's personal life was returning to normal before all of this started, the whole saga took its toll on his mind, as shown in the fight with Liz. Pat apparently had a tendency for alcoholism, and all this drama was
Eleni seemed like she wanted clout more than anything. That's what it seemed like she
wanted. Closer to the point of no return, and this is what happened on May 2nd, 2022. All the details are from the police report.
On that day, Pat got heavily drunk at a party, prompting Liz to suggest that they get back home. On the way back in the car, however, Pat started punching Liz, and then upon reaching their home, Liz locked Pat out of the house, which led him to slash the car tires with a knife in a fit of rage.
One thing led to another, and Liz came out of the house only for Pat to start chasing her with the knife. Because of this, he was arrested for possessing a dangerous weapon without the intent to kill, and was held with a bond of $25,000. And after he actually paid the bond and got out of jail, everything seemed to slowly return to normal. However, Liz again caused controversy by posting a
Today is about Timo, our kid, and Timo really takes an inspiration from his daily life.
TikTok where she accused Pat of hitting her and getting her pregnant. As usual, the internet erupted and Pat disappeared for a while, but after some time elapsed, he made a community post clarifying things.
I want everyone to know I'm fine. I'm happily living with my girlfriend Liz. Things have been a bit crazy as seen over social media, but that is also part of things being blown out of proportion because of having a job over social media. I'd be lying if I said things have been perfect, but we're happy and I do have good friends in spite of what has been said over the news. I have to wait on talking about everything because of the corrupt legal system where I live, but I'm fine. I live with Liz and Cloud and we're all okay. Life can be a bit crazy sometimes, and because of that, I need to wait to talk about everything. I just want to assure everyone that we're happy, and small things can easily get blown out of proportion with social media.
But the string of arrests Pat had started didn't end here. The same year, Pat was arrested at an NFL game, where his friend Ethan ran onto the field, thereby interrupting the game. And when Ethan eventually got held up by the police, Pat was searched, and the authorities found drugs on him and arrested him too. Everyone on the internet only found this out after Pat's court video went viral. And after this, Pat said he was trying to stay sober, and also announced that he was marrying Liz. Again, people fell into an illusion that everything was going to be normal. But in 2024, Pat got arrested in a very tragic way. A woman called 911 after she noticed Pat sleeping on a footpath, and when police checked up on him, he was evidently high and disoriented. Upon searching his backpack, they found cannabis, but as they tried to handcuff him, he attempted an escape, leading to a fight. He would eventually be arrested and charged, and during the trial, the court specifically ordered him to seek help with his substance abuse. But in 2025, for the same sentence, he was found guilty of not obeying probation and was again sent to jail. And after all these hardships, Pat seemed to be doing good for his audience, and he even posted a video of him talking about how alcohol destroyed his life. In that video, he revealed that he'd been sober for 4 months and that things were looking good. And in another video, he sat with his friend Mike to discuss everything that had happened to him in recent times and went over his arrests and hardships. But while he appeared to be getting better, a community post he wrote on September 28th, 2025 would leave fans happy and sad at the same time.
I relapsed very badly. I'm going to get into treatment. I want you to know you're not alone.
And while there's still hope for Pat, there was never any to begin with in the next case.
For acting in a deliberate...
Golly, Pat. Golly, that just broke my heart all over again, bro. And I know it's not easy for people that's going through substance abuse, man. It's not easy for y'all. it's not easy for y'all to bounce back and get off of that. But man, and like people always say, oh, they need to get help. They need to seek help. You got to think about it from where they looking at it, man. You telling the person that something is so wrong with them, they need to go and get help for it. Like you telling the person that you need to seek help or your life is going to be destroyed. In their mind, if they're abusing these substances, their life is probably already destroyed. They probably have something that they're running away from and they don't care. They don't care no more. So just telling the person they need to get over this, you need to get off that stuff, that's not going to help them people. That's not going to help those people at all. They're going to have to make that change within themselves. And it's up to us looking on the outside, looking in, to just support them. Just be supportive. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you don't give into their habits. Do not feed into their habits for sure. And don't enable them to feel like doing these habits is okay. But at the same time, show your support, show your love for them people. You know, there's people out there on the streets that are cold today. You know what I'm saying? That are cold. If you got it like that, get them a blanket. Like get them a blanket or something. Get them something to eat. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going through it worse than what you going through it right now. And you might see it as they just on drugs. The drugs cause this, but it's something. There's something behind the drugs. There's something behind that. And some people are able to bounce back. And I know all of those warriors got a story to tell. They got a story to tell behind them. They got a testimony to tell behind them. So listen to some of those people and you will notice that right here in your backyard. You know, like walking down the street or whatever. Some of those people going through the same situations that those people are going through. And they could be a success story too if somebody just believed in them enough to help. You know what I'm saying? So just reach out to folks. You don't know what's going on. I feel like if Pat would have had somebody to talk to, he wouldn't have ended up the way that he wouldn't end up the way he did. He probably didn't feel like he could go to somebody with his trouble, so he went to that bottle and started,
to manner toward the victim, who was just when their interactions began.
In 2015, only a few names were very well known in the Minecraft community, and one such name was that of Team Crafted, a gaming collective.
My homie did just say Minecraft YouTubers got a bad rap. He was not wrong.
That include the popular YouTuber Adam Dahlberg, aka Sky Does Minecraft, who'd already amassed over 10 million subscribers. But one more relatively unknown YouTuber would also go on to become popular, but this time for the wrong reasons. This was Starlight Zhao, better known as Jin Bob. Initially, Jin posted pretty normal, unremarkable vlogs, which are unavailable now, and he would have kept posting these kinds of videos if he wasn't friends with Minecraft YouTuber Sky Does Minecraft. And seeing Adam's immense success in his field led Jin to believe he too might have a chance. And in 2013, he started his very own YouTube channel with a Minecraft gameplay video. Even though Jin was actually consistent, his channel's growth was very moderate. This was mainly due to the large number of Minecraft creators on YouTube and how Jin's content didn't have anything noteworthy. But this would all change after Adam detached himself from Team Crafted and started his own company, Sky Media. And one of the first creators to join hands with Adam was none other than Jin. This gradually resulted in 2 collaboration videos, which brought Jin to the notice of many people. Slowly, they started collaborating more and more. And since those were very successful, Jin was made an official of Sky Media and even moved in with Adam. From that point, Jin's rise was inevitable. But behind all this, it seemed like something else was going on. As a content creator, it was natural for Jin to interact with his fans. But in some cases, it could be debated whether it was normal or not. For example, by the time Sky Media had a couple of members, one of them, Tim.tv, tweeted about Jin in 2022.
Jim used to be at the office as late as me, and I was always wondering what he was up to. I checked and he was talking to fans on Skype, which I thought was pretty weird because they were literal smaller humans. I brought this up to management and I was told to mind my own business and edit.
While these complaints were ignored, Jin continued making videos before actually leaving Sky Media in 2016 to make content independent.
That's kind of neat, actually. You know.
But this proved harder than anticipated, as Jin had to now stop relying on Sky's fame to garner views. But while his videos were just the same, his fan base was kind of dwindling because of that fact. And his videos got barely any views compared to his collaborations with Sky. And this would escalate to a point where Jin suddenly disappeared from YouTube completely in August of 2016. But this was like the calm before the storm, because in the following months, a whole new persona of this typical YouTuber would be revealed to the world. In 2015, Jin actually befriended a young fan, whom we will be calling Lisa, and he started talking to her. At that point in time, Jin was 23, and nonetheless, Lisa began helping Jin with producing videos for his channel, and their relationship grew closer. But while Lisa believed that she was getting close to a famous YouTuber, she was actually slowly falling into a trap laid by a dangerous individual. Over the course of their friendship, Jin would start asking her to send inappropriate pictures of herself, wearing all kinds of clothes, which he forced her to buy. And the really disturbing part was, Jin knew her age, and continued demanding such things. Slowly, her parents started noticing the changes in her behavior, and how she was buying clothes that weren't inappropriate for her age. They even found a chain in her bedroom that had Jin's photo in the locket, and this led to them to take a drastic step and record all of her calls when she was talking with Jin. And To their horror,
he thought he was him for real.
They found out that Jin was asking their daughter to remove clothes for him. And on top of this, he also talked in detail about all the things he would do to her. And this was when they decided to start contacting the police. But unaware of these developments, in the background, Jim even convinces her to come with him to Florida. Now slowly the plans change, and Jin starts talking to her about his plans to permanently move her with him to Washington. And this was when the FBI got involved. They started reviewing the evidence and confirmed that Jin really was engaged in illegal stuff. And with this, they issued a subpoena, which means they could now arrest him. And so while Jin was on his way to Michigan to meet Lisa, the police ambushed him and brought him into custody. But the news only broke out when some niche anime websites published the story. And with that, Jin was put in jail, and his past friends like Adam were quick to distance themselves from him.
What happened to Jin Bob? See, I don't know. Me and Jin stopped talking ages ago. The only things I know about the entire situation is that he was arrested for some pretty
Court documents available to us show us that on August of 23rd, 2016, a grand jury found Jin Bob guilty on 4 counts. Yet Jin's defense team managed to remove 3 of those counts. And Jin, at the end, was sentenced a year later in 2017 to 96 months, or 8 years in prison. During the trial, Jin had attempted to reduce his punishment multiple times, but it never actually worked out. Eventually, though, his pleas would be accepted.
Nah, you sit them years out.
Prison in 2022, yet he never appeared online ever again. And while Jin's crimes mostly unfolded in his YouTube career, the next YouTuber's crimes had to be dug out from the past.
I never said it was the victim! I never said it was the victim! I never once said it was the victim! And I'm sick and tired of being called I'm tired of it all!
Brandon Dylan Asher was another friend of Sky Does Everything, who went by the name Bashaverse. But unlike Jin Bob, Brandon didn't need to ride on Sky's popularity to gain an audience. Brandon's first break came when his Minecraft series, The Legend of Hobo, went wildly popular. In this series, Brandon parodied the Lord of the Rings in the Minecraft world, and some of the comments under the videos clearly illustrate how influential the series was.
Back when I was 11, this video is like Hollywood quality for Minecraft.
Over time, Brandon started posting more and more videos of himself playing Minecraft, and his popularity actually brought him closer to other popular Minecraft creators, like I mentioned, Sky and Captain Sparkles. Even his personal life, things were looking good. Brandon accidentally met a fan named Clara Swan, with whom he quickly struck up a romantic relationship, and she was actually an adult. And he even flew her from her home state of Tennessee to his residence in Seattle in 2014. In 2015, Clara and Brandon, along with other YouTubers, started then living in the same house and started a YouTube channel called The BAM Lounge. On this channel, they mostly posted their daily activities and content like pranks and challenges. However, a can of worms was waiting to be opened, and like in the coming cases, it all started with the YouTuber Keemstar, who ran the YouTube drama channel Drama Alert. In 2015,
Keem used to be in a pocket for drama. Keem used to be in a pocket for drama. I'm talking about he used to be in everything, boy. Boy, y'all remember the Leafy Beef? Oh my god.
An anonymous source that Brandon had committed a serious offense in his past, and as any controversial YouTuber would do, Keem immediately took up the news and broadcasted it on his Twitter. Shockingly, the crime Brandon was arrested for was due to an unlawful interaction with a younger person. This was a great blow to many of his fans, and Brandon had to respond fast to save his career. And a few days later, Brandon posted a video where he went into detail about the whole saga. Apparently, he was at his lowest mentally after being cheated on by his girlfriend at the time, and he met his friend's younger sister, who we'll be calling Lana. Lana was very young, and Brandon was 19 when they both first met, and Brandon slowly got closer to Lana because she was very supportive and helped him move on. But his relationship morphed into something else.
How does he even have the opportunity to get close to this person? Like, is that not weird, y'all? Like, what is everybody else around doing to not notice him getting closer to this child? You know, it's just weird. It's just weird.
When Brandon and Lana started developing feelings for each other, and when Lana's parents noticed that something was going on, they decided to hire a private detective to see who Lana was talking to. And that's of course when they came across some inappropriate texts between Lana and Brandon. Naturally, because Lana was very young, Brandon got arrested and charged, but he would narrowly escape jail as the court would advise him to seek mental therapy instead. In the wake of this video, Brandon got immense support from his fans, who seemed willing to forgive and forget his past actions. In contrast, however, a minority of people weren't satisfied with his response, and the head of this pack, Keemstar, posted a video accusing Brandon of evading responsibility by making himself the victim. But surprisingly, the people still stood behind Brandon after this video.
I admit, Basher is at fault for his actions, but you need to stop acting like he's a monster on the loose. The event happened 10 freaking years ago, and he's got a girlfriend who he is loyal to. You think a loyal man would run after some smaller humans, with the only evidence being that he fell in love with a younger person after being cheated on?
But the harm was really done. Brandon's reputation was kind of stained now, and he couldn't handle people continuously calling him a young person lover. And so at one point, Brandon was so fed up that he decided to quit YouTube altogether and posted a goodbye Why video. This particular video showed that Brandon was just tired of everything, and the way he expressed his anger made this video a famous internet monument. On top of this, Basher and Keemstar started an online fight that originated from Brandon's past, but soon changed into something else entirely. To show how bad the harassment was, Basher would post a video where he went into detail about how Keem was annoying and constantly calling him out online, while also revealing that Keem had been swatting his mother and even doxed her.
Keemstar even doxed my mother. My mom is turning 60 this year, and she was swatted over and over again with people pointing guns at her face.
Now at this point, Brandon deleted his YouTube channel and disappeared.
I did know about Keemstar doing that. That I think I found out about that in the Leafy Beef. That's
from
crazy.
YouTube, but he would then suddenly appear on Drama Alert when Keem actually posted a video interviewing Brandon, but also behind the scenes. Even his personal life was taking a hit, as Clara would allegedly start distancing herself from Brandon's controversy. Now due to that fact, a lot of his audience started accusing Clara of being a gold digger who was only with Brandon because of what she could gain from him, but Brandon wasn't having it. He made a separate video clarifying that Clara wasn't the kind of person they painted her to be.
I want to address this. Clara is not a gold digger. She is the sweetest, most wonderful person in the universe. And she never once did anything that resembled what a gold digger would do.
And after this video, everything seemed to calm down a bit. This was when Keem released his already mentioned interview, where he showed Brandon some pictures, which made Brandon suspicious that Clara could be cheating on him with Garrett, another member of the BAM Lounge. As a result of this, Clara and Brandon started staying away from each other, while Brandon returned to Seattle. Meanwhile,
is this the only picture of this man you can find? Yeah. We friends now. Yeah, we friends now, right? Yeah. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Garrett posted a video on his channel clearing the air about the accusation. At the end of the video, Brandon would also clarify that nothing had happened between Garrett and Clara.
What's going on? Like, tell me really quickly. Are we cool?
We are cool. He did not do anything with Clara.
Did not have with that woman.
No, he didn't.
And as soon as that dust settled, Clara moved back with Brandon, and the two even posted a video together. But still, Brandon's video lacked their past glory and came off more as awkward. However, the final blow would be delivered when the allegations resurfaced not long after the drama was put to rest. Only this time, Brandon didn't take it so well, and fans became especially worried after Clara put out a tweet that read,
"If I pass away in the next few weeks, you guys know who it is."
She would also post a picture alongside that showing holes in her door. And when the allegations of this kind of relationship arose, Clara and Brandon both reacted defensively, with Brandon saying that he only punched the door because of all the allegations. Nevertheless, people knew that Brandon's mental state was deteriorating, and a few weeks later, he once again deleted his YouTube channel and completely disappeared without a trace. But then, after some time, he decided to make another comeback, this time as Toasty. Fans were happy to see Brandon recover from his past and be normal again. But unfortunately, this wouldn't last long, as Brandon got COVID-19 and passed on from this world in 2021. Now, this next YouTuber
Bro, golly, I'm talking about stressed out, bro, and COVID took him out. All of that, bro. Imagine. He overcame all of that. He overcame all of that internet stuff, bro, and came back to be bigger than what he was. You know what I'm saying? Let the past be past. Came back to be bigger and better than what he was, to better his life. And he passed away from the vid. That is
matched Brandon's popularity, but exceeded his crimes by tenfold.
When Lion Maker was hitting on this 15-year-old girl known as Paige the Panda.
December 21st, 2015 started as another regular day for the Minecraft community, but behind the scenes, a famous Minecraft YouTuber was gearing up to put out a tweet that would stun the entire fandom and forever change the way everyone viewed the game. The creator was Marcus Wilson, a 27-year-old Belgian guy who created the channel Lion Maker Studios in 2013. And just like everyone else at the time period, Marcus was leveraging the popularity of Minecraft to kickstart his career on YouTube. His videos mainly focused on Minecraft Let's Plays, which as expected helped him immensely in generating a fan base of his own. And by 2015, he had 200,000 subscribers. This community, of course, was mainly made up of young users, with whom Marcus interacted frequently via Skype. And this was where the problem arose. While Marcus was all cheerful and happy in his videos, it was reported that on Skype, he was being too emotional and was interacting in an absolutely inappropriate manner with the young fans. It happened on June 12, 2015. Marcus was talking to a young fan named Chantel Weisman. Susie, Chantel's mother, was perfectly aware that her daughter was talking to a famous YouTuber. In fact, she was the one who gave her permission to talk to him. After Chantel asked her mother if she actually could, she thought that they would just talk normal kids.
How old was bro? Go back.
Who Marcus interacted frequently via Skype, and this was where the problem arose.
Go back.
December 21st, 2015 started as another regular day for the Minecraft community, but behind the scenes, a famous Minecraft YouTuber was gearing up to put out a tweet that would stun the entire fandom and forever change the way everyone viewed the game. The creator was Marcus Wilson, a 27-year-old Belgian guy who created the channel Lionmaker Studios in 2013. And just like everyone else at the time period, Marcus was leveraging the popularity of Minecraft to kickstart his career on YouTube. His videos mainly focused on Minecraft Let's Plays, which as expected helped him immensely in generating a fan base of his own. And by 2015, he had 200,000 subscribers. This community, of course, was mainly made up of young users with whom Marcus interacted frequently via Skype. And this was where the problem arose. While Marcus was all cheerful and happy in his videos, it was reported that on Skype, he was being too emotional and was interacting in an absolutely inappropriate manner with the young fans. It happened on June 12, 2015. Marcus was talking to a young fan named Chantel Weisman. Susie, Chantel's mother, was perfectly aware that her daughter was talking to a famous YouTuber. In fact, she was the one who gave her permission to talk to him. After Chantel asked her mother if she actually could, she thought that they would just talk normal stuff. But that night, it was something more than that. In the midst of an apparently normal conversation,
she didn't tell you how old he was, did it? She didn't tell you how old it was, and that's what happened.
Marcus, or someone who was in control of his account, would ask the young fan for inappropriate pictures. As a concerned mother, Susie immediately alerted the police. But the very next day, Marcus messaged Chantel again, this time claiming that he wasn't the one they were talking to the night before, and that he was locked up in jail for the night. This didn't sit well with Susie, who kept doubting Marcus, even though the Swedish police admitted they couldn't do anything. And sadly, Susie's fears were totally reasonable. On the same day, June 12th, Marcus contacted yet another young fan, Steven Cheeks, who was very young too. Marcus and Steven were acquainted with each other, and fully aware that Steven was very young, Marcus didn't shy away from saying that he would come to his house and do stuff to Steven. And even though he was weirded out by it, Steven didn't think much of it and brushed it aside, thinking it was just friendly banter. But in reality, Marcus was serious, and this was made very clear when Marcus asked Steven to send him pictures too, claiming that he would pay him $500 if he did. Steven didn't agree to send his pictures, but no.
Hey, W parents for teaching these kids when something is wrong to say no. It is okay to say no. W parents for teaching these kids to stand their ground. Because honestly, bro, look at the text message. Send me a picture of I'll send you $500. What kid would not want $500? What child wouldn't want $500? Be for real. Be so for real. That especially they playing Minecraft. You know how many skins and stuff you could buy with $500? You can start your Minecraft. You can start your Minecraft career off $500. You can't tell me otherwise. Any kid would take $500. Bro said, "Hell no, you're weird." Yes, you weirdo. Weird ass. Yes, you're weird. Hell no. Susie. Little Chantel told her mama, "Look, mama, this man." Then if you go back, she was like, "Hell no, you're not lying. F off. You're not lying." But it was lying. But she got common sense enough to know, no, this is not what we need. We're not supposed to be talking about this. Yeah. Teach your kids. Teach your kids. A lot of y'all might feel like, no, I don't want to expose my kid to this. I don't want to expose my kid to this. They too young to know. No, they need to know enough to know that it's not okay for anybody to be talking to you like that. They need to know enough to know it's not okay for anybody. I don't care if they is the same age. It's not okay for nobody to be talking to you like that because you're a kid. And kids have to stay in kids' place. You need to teach your kids how to stay in kids' place. Moral of the story.
Not before Marcus already PayPal'd him $500. This transaction would later be brought up by a PayPal employee as evidence that Marcus had unlawful interactions with these people. But Marcus tried to escape accountability using the same excuse he gave Chantel. Here he claimed that the screenshot of the PayPal invoice was in fact Photoshop and nothing of the sort had happened. Now the most surprising part was that people actually gave Marcus the benefit of the doubt, and he continued to make more videos and amass more subscribers. But Susie wasn't going to give up. Even though Marcus blocked Chantel from Skype and all other platforms, making it impossible for Susie to contact him, she wanted to get the truth out, and so she reached out to Keemstar. This turned out to be a
Keemstar, yes sir. Look, I do not like Keemstar. I'm not a Keemstar fan. But when I say Keemstar, one thing for sure, two things for certain. Keemstar will tell you a story, but he will never tell you a lie. He will tell you a story, but he will never tell you a lie. Keemstar be putting it out there, and he does not care who you is. He ready to beef with you over this. If you did something on the internet, he ready to beef with you over this. Keemstar, I respect Keemstar. I don't respect when he was swatting people, but I respect Keemstar to that degree, just like I respect Charlie. I do like Charlie though. I watch Charlie videos. I'm a fan of Moist Critical. I've been a fan of Critical since way back in the day. My cousin showed me. He was always on. I'm finna watch Critical play card. I'm finna watch Critical. All right, cool. Like let's do it then.
point in the story. On September 16th, Keemstar posted a video where Susie herself narrated what happened between Lion Maker and her daughter, and the response was immediate. People started calling out Marcos left and right, while Marcos continued denying the allegations, claiming that he couldn't have done anything like that since he was in jail at the time. And since many of his fans still kind of believed him, Lion Maker kept attending fan meetups like any other creator. And this is where he met another young fan by the name of Panda the Page. While many of the specific...
So he learned nothing. He learned nothing. He didn't learn his lesson at all. He said, I'm gonna keep doing it till I get caught red-handed.
Details of their relationship went in the dark. One tweet brought everything to light. Due to the constant criticism he faced on Twitter, thanks to Drama Alert's video on him, Marcus did something extreme. He came clean. On December 21st, he put out a tweet that at first seemed very unreal.
I fooled all of you and have made plenty of money while doing it. Ed Keemstar was right all along, and I'm a pervert that should just leave this earth. Since
AI is transforming customer service, it's obvious we know that. The leader in that category is our product, Finn.
Panda the Page was... Her and I have had several inappropriate exchanges on Skype.
After that specific tweet, Lion Maker went completely crazy and started tweeting out things that were incredibly incriminating to himself.
I'm an offender that should just leave this earth.
And then he did something that completely ended his whole career. He posted inappropriate pictures of Panda for the whole world to see. And although Twitter quickly removed those pictures, Panda herself found them and tweeted out saying that it was her, as if not understanding what he'd just done. And then Marcus said something that made the whole situation even more disturbing.
One retweet and I'll share more. I'll share more at Panda the Page.
In the ensuing chaos, Marcus again backtracked by saying that his account got hacked that night, and he made a video to clear his name. In that video, he recited a poem, which was obviously directed at Panda, but no one was really trusting him now. And as he knew it, he disappeared from YouTube. And in real life, he was actually put in a mental institution in Belgium. Other than this fact, nothing was known, and he was considered as good as gone. But the same old story was still brewing when one Redditor uploaded Marcus's stream on the H3 Discord server.
I am putting this out as a warning that this dangerous offender is lurking in our community and cannot be trusted at all, especially those in the community who aren't of age. Need to be aware.
Internet is forever, buddy. Internet is forever, buddy. Internet is forever. We're not running from that. Internet is forever.
Please be careful who you interact with in private and what you post. I love this community and have made many good friends via the Discord and Reddit, and I want it to be a safe place for everyone.
In this stream, Marcus really admitted to liking younger fans.
The first time I ever talked to her, she was 4.
I'm out. And you were 25?
No. So this is what you gotta understand, is that like it wasn't intimate at all. It's just that we were doing the whole YouTube thing and I was doing my videos.
Whole thing or
no.
What's the whole YouTube thing?
Hold on. Wait, hold on.
And it's unknown what happened to him after this, but one thing was clear: the prospect of Marcus ever returning to YouTube has been buried for good. But far more sinister is an almost unknown case of David Bukowski. David Bukowski was 18.
What's weird is people giving them the benefit of the doubt, and I understand that because everybody messes up and everybody does stuff, and it's important to hear them out or hear their side of the story. It is, because a lot of the times it might not be what you think it is, but at the same time, you had multiple opportunities. After the Keemstar thing, you should have stopped. After the Keemstar thing, you should have stopped, but you decided to keep going and then incriminate yourself, and then wanted to backtrack like, oh, I was hacked. Nah, you told them folks, you let everybody know what you
when he first met his victim, whom the court documents refer to as SM, but we'll be calling her Sarah. David had been an avid gamer since a young age, and he knew how to effectively deal with the ups and downs of the internet. And this made him appear like a very reliable adult to Sarah, who was very young when she first met David in some online chat room dedicated to Minecraft. At that point in time, David also ran a company called Quantum Booter, which basically sold software that can be used to perpetuate DDoS attacks like in the Vel PvP case, and which would later be taken down by the FBI. And slowly, David started doing things to make himself more important in Sarah's life. He would help her play Minecraft and also teach her about computer software. Sarah liked David too, and a close friendship started forming between the two. But they grew even closer when David had to be admitted to the hospital after he suffered a stroke. During this time, Sarah was one of the few friends who constantly asked him how he was and expressed concern. Following his recovery in 2016, David and Sarah then started their romantic relationship that same year. And David met Sarah for the first time in real life at a gaming convention, and he would go on to meet her twice in Ottawa, where she actually lived. But the relationship itself quickly turned sour, with David being controlling and very rude to Sarah. And fed up with him, Sarah quietly moved on from a relationship and started dating a co-worker of hers, whom we'll be calling Jacob. Now, even though Sarah didn't reveal this to David, he started growing suspicious of her. And when he finally found out about the relationship, he was furious. And he did what someone like him would do.
If y'all broke up, why does it matter?
He doxed Sarah. And this was made easier by the fact that during the early phase of the relationship, Sarah had blindly entrusted all of her passwords to David. And now she had to bear the consequences of his decision. But then he actually pretended like he regretted his actions and texted Sarah.
I have now become a non-abuser, and I will never return back to my old ways of hurting or demeaning people. I thank you for that. I know you lied about not being with someone because you were scared I was going to hurt you or him, but all that was hurting searching for was the truth.
But in reality, David was far from satisfied. His quest for revenge would take him to dark depths. In the month of January 2018, multiple people known to Sarah started receiving inappropriate pictures of her in their emails, which also accused Sarah of manipulating men online and deceiving them. David also sent emails to Sarah's mother and her workplace, accusing Martha, her mom, of having affairs with other men. He even once sent a thread making it seem like it was sent by Jacob, leading to Jacob being arrested and detained by the police for 5 hours. But what was happening on the computer screen also moved into real life. In February of 2018, David met Gavin Kasdorf online. Gavin was also a very young person, and he was manipulated by David into firebombing Sarah's house, and the fire set by him damaged the building and the vehicle. But fortunately, no one was actually injured. Immediately after this, David and Gavin were finally arrested and put on trial for a number of crimes. Due to the lack of proper evidence, the charges of arson and attempted murder were dropped. This was because while Gavin admitted it was David who first approached him with the plan, there wasn't proper evidence. So in 2020, David was simply sentenced to 5 years in prison on the count of criminal harassment and distribution of Sarah's images. This next individual is also serving time, but for a far more sinister crime.
In 2017, Devin Arthurs was a psychotic young killer with a head full of hate and a hair trigger.
Huggies Front Blowout Blocker versus Chocolate Syrup. Will it blow out?
Controversial opinions and discussions can be sprouted anywhere on the internet,
what?
even in games like Minecraft, and more specifically /in/craft, a Minecraft server where members played as countries and political organizations on a map that was very similar to the real world. This was the perfect server for geopolitical enthusiasts who wanted all the drama present in the real world to be reenacted in Minecraft. And one of the most popular groups in the server was Striker Gang, and while the group was filled with people—
Hold on. Alright, well, the camera focused. Alright, well, cool. I don't know what's going on with that.
trying to escape from the real world, there was a user by the name of Wolf Devin who took his ideologies a bit too far. Devin Arthurs was living with his divorced dad, Alan, in a middle-class gated community in Florida, where he slowly began drifting towards extreme ideologies. This didn't go totally unnoticed by Alan, who on multiple occasions tried to divert his son's attention from those topics, but slowly the effect of the material Arthur was consuming was very visible in his behavior. One of his online friends recounted an incident that happened when he was on a call with Devin.
I was in a Skype call with him once, and he put his mom in a freaking chokehold, called her a fat freak who was trying to take away his computer.
Another time, Alan also came across a book Devin had ordered, which was Mein Kampf, the book and autobiography of one of the most hated men on the planet. And when confronted, Devin physically challenged Alan, leading to the police being called and him getting kicked out from his father's house. And eventually, he would also drop—
I'm noticing that a lot of people that do this type of stuff, that do these violent crimes and stuff, that are like geared toward that, we done read that book. What's in that book? What is in that book that's telling y'all to go and do some stuff like this? Like, why does y'all feel like this ideology? What's in that book that got y'all thinking that this okay?
out of high school completely. Homeless and jobless, Devin moved in with Jeremy Himmelman, Andrew Oneshuk, and Brandon Russell in an apartment in Tampa. And all his roommates shared Devin's explosive ideologies and continued to consume far-right material together. They even had manuals and guides on how to make guns and bombs. And in one drawer, they even had a framed photograph of Timothy McVeigh, who was responsible for the Oklahoma City bombing in 1995. But while his roommates continued being loyal to their ideologies, Devin faced a dilemma. He started embracing Islam more and more, and also felt a connection to the organization ISIS. For Devin, Islam started being a priority, and he started preaching the goods of jihadism, or Islamic terrorism. Naturally, he tried to rub his ideology on his roommates, but they weren't really pleased with it. And so things started to get tense, with Jeremy, Andrew, and Brandon following one ideology, and Devin preaching a completely opposite one. And this tension would finally result in a tragedy on May 19th, 2017. Devin was cleaning his AK-47 when Jeremy ridiculed Islam and joked about throwing Devin's copy of the Quran at him. But before this was actually done, loud bangs resounded across the room as Devin shot Jeremy multiple times. The rampage still didn't end, as Andrew, who was in the flat at the time, was also shot by Devin. Devin then dropped the rifle and took up a semi-automatic pistol, and with the two bodies now lying there, Devin called his dad and said,
"I love you, Dad. You won't be hearing from me again." He thinks it's a joke. My mother tells me to put the gun down immediately.
He then went to a nearby leasing office and, brandishing his gun, announced that he had killed 2 people. And this was when a woman finally called 911, which prompted the police to arrive not long after and arrest him. And when the police visited the flat, they found Brandon, who was still out until then, crying in a military uniform beside the corpses of Jeremy and Andrew. After being arrested, Devin was questioned about his motives by detectives. And in that interview, Devin reveals that his roommates were planning to unalive a lot of people by planting bombs. So he had to interrupt them to save people's lives, which of course could be a possibility, but most likely simply isn't. He would later be diagnosed with a mental illness upon evaluation by a forensics.
He tried to be quick. He caught doing what in public? In the gooning community? The what community? All right, look, y'all doing too much. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna catch y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all next time. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and yeah, stay cool. You know what I'm saying?